Hello, students. As you know, we have been learning the most important topic from your paper second plant physiology, that is plant water relations, means unit second or topic second, plant water relations. From that, very much important process, physiological process, we have to learn, that is of imbibition. Imbibition. Now, first point is that we'll have to get it clear about the concept of imbibition and definition of imbibition, and finally its significance to the plants or in the life of a plants. We have to say that concept is that some material like gum, starch, cellulose, gelatin, agar, protein, etc. When placed in a water, they absorbs the water and it swell up. Some material like gum, starch, cellulose, gelatin, agar, and proteins, when placed into the water, they absorb the water and swell up. They absorb the water and swell up. This phenomenon is called as a imbibition. इन द सेन्स मराठीमध्ये सांगायचं झालं तर ज्या वेळेला डिंक असेल, स्टार्च असेल, सेल्युलोज असेल, जिलॅटिन असेल, आगार पावडर असेल किंवा प्रोटीन असेल, हे जर पाण्यामध्ये ठेवलं तर ते पाणी ॲब्सॉर्ब करतात आणि फुगतात. दिस फेनॉमेनॉन इज नोन ॲज ए imbibition. Now friends, you will say that very simple and common example that we experiences during the rainy season. We know that during the rainy season moisture percentage in the atmosphere is very high as compared to the winter, and we have to say that the summer season. So what happens actually in rainy season? Already I have told you that moisture percentage is very high, and because of that one, wooden doors, wooden window that absorbs the water and swells little bit, and because of that one we faces problem at the time of closing the doors or opening the doors, isn't it? These things you will have to keep in mind. And that process, we know that whenever moisture, whenever water absorbed by that door, the door swells. That process is known as imbibition, isn't it? This is a imbibition. Another point is that this is also a type of diffusion which is performed like a osmosis, isn't it? In this process, there is a great difference between the diffusion pressure of liquid of imbibing cell and liquid of external medium. Due to this reason, the process of imbibition takes place and it continues till the pressure of said liquid and external medium becomes a equal, isn't it? How long that process of absorption of water by the gum, starch, cellulose, gelatin, agar, wooden doors takes place or continues till the pressure of said liquid, means water, and external medium becomes equal. Due to this reason, the process of imbibition takes place and continues till the pressure of a said liquid and external becomes equal to balanced. दोन्हीचं प्रेशर, एक्सटर्नल मिडियमचं अँड वी हॅव टू से दॅट द इंटरनल मिडियम, त्याचं काय होतं आहे, एकसारखं होईपर्यंत ही प्रोसेस चालू राहते. द स्वेलिंग ऑफ ए ड्राय सेल, ड्राय सीड्स when placed in a water. We know that most of time we know that the seeds, when we keep into the beaker containing water, and after 24 hours, after 8 hours, we find that there is a increase in the volume of a water level in the beaker or container. That is because of swelling of a seeds, isn't it? The swelling of wooden windows, already I have told you. Tables, if that are made up of a wooden, otherwise you will say that table swells, means suppose that is a made up of a iron that never swells. Friends, students, keep in mind. And due to the moisture during the rainy season are examples of a imbibition. So this is the concept and definitions I have taught to you, that is a of imbibition. Now what is significance of this process, isn't it, in the life of the plant? First we know that life of plant begins with the germination of the seed, isn't it? So initiates seed germination. Imbibition process is responsible for initiation of a seed germination. Also, imbibition causes increase in the volume of the seed and ultimately bursting of a testa or seed coat. We know that hard seed coat is there, hard testa is there, and that testa actually, because of absorption of the water by the seed swells and the testa or seed coat unable to accommodate that volume, and definitely seed coat burst, seed coat breaks, or we have to say that the testa breaks, and it helps in the germination. So bursting of a testa is only possible because of imbibition. It helps in the imbibition of water absorption by roots. It helps in the initiation of a water absorption by roots. We know that roots absorb the water, but first of all, root absorbs that water on its external side, and then initiation or beginning of a absorption of the water starts. Friends, very interesting. We are learning here. It helps in ripening of a ovule into the seeds. We know that ovule is there, isn't it? And ovule ripening also is possible by the absorption of a water or by the process of a imbibition. So this is the significance. Initiates the seed germination, helps in bursting of the testa or seed coat, also initiates the absorption of water by roots, also helps in ripening of the ovules into the seeds, and last, during the imbibition, heat energy releases, and which is further increases the activity of the cell of the living cells of the living seeds. So whatever energy releases during the imbibition, that energy increases the activity of the cells of the living cells of a living seeds, and there it helps, we have to say that, in the process of a germination. Now one experiment you have to do at your places, very simple experiment is there. If you will do this experiment, if you will carry out this work, then imbibition process you will not be able to forget, or it would be definitely imbibition process will be incarved on your mind. So very interesting thing is there, and when imbibition process is going to take place or happen, you will be able to remember. So you have to do the experiment. In the last, I think, 3-4 lectures, at the end of each and every lecture, I used to say that you will have to do the experiments, and that experiment will help you to understand the science itself. If at the conduction of a experiment you are going to commit any mistake, that also you will be able to find out, and that inquisitive mind will be developed in your mind, what to do, why not to do, what we are expecting from this experiment. So my friends, एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑफ इम्बिबिशन, सिंपल एक्सपेरिमेंट आहे, त्या करायचा आहे, then you will be able to understand. Take a beaker and fill it. Take a beaker and fill it up to 1/3 with dry gram seed. First of all, you have to take dry gram seeds and the dry gram seeds you have to put into a beaker, but up to portion, that is 1/3 of the beaker is to be covered or filled. Then pour the water in beaker. Then you have to add water into beaker. Leave it for overnight. Leave it for overnight. And in the morning, the seeds become, in the morning when you will observe the things, then you will come to know that in the morning the seed becomes swollen and almost fill the beaker. The beaker was filled 1/3 by the seeds. Then we have added water into that, and we kept that for overnight. And in the morning, after observation, we will able to see the seeds become swollen and almost fill the beaker, whole beaker. Actually seeds were 1/3, but later on 1/3 in that beaker, capacity of beaker 1/3 is filled by the gram seeds. But in the morning we will find that because of increase in the volume, that could be become a full beaker of a swollen gram seeds. The seeds swells due to imbibition of water, and difference in increase in volume can be noticed. So this simple experiment, my friends, you have to do at your places. You try to explain that what you are doing, which step you are going to take, and then you will come to know that how the seeds are imbibing water and swells, isn't it? So this experiment you have to do at your places. Now here, by learning of the imbibition process, we have completed the unit second, that is plant water relation, and third unit from your syllabus we are going to learn here, that is of a absorption of a water, isn't it? When we are talking many things about the water, always there is a water, then we have to first of all learn what is the importance of water to the plant. No doubt each and every, we have to say that living organism wants a water in their life. Means what the importance of the in plant, we have to learn the amount of water present in the soil changes the morphology, anatomy of the plant according to the plants are mesophyte, hydrophyte and geophyte. This statement is having a lot of importance, my friend. You keep in mind, actually the amount of water present in the soil decides which type of plants are growing there, or determines which type of plants are to be grown there, either mesophyte, hydrophyte or geophyte. Keep in mind, suppose there is a less amount of water present in the soil, then definitely geophytic plant grows there. Suppose more than zero type plants, mesophyte plants are growing there, definitely amount of water is more as compared to the plants supporting to the geophytic plant. And hydrophytes, in the sense we know that plants are growing in a liquid medium. Friends, morphology we will see different of that one. Hydrophyte never shows presence of spines, never they are producing spines for checking the rate of transpiration. But geophytes, less amount of water is present in the soil, and with that less amount they have to complete their life cycle or survive there. So definitely they are checking rate of transpiration. So morphologically we can find the spines there on the geophytic plants. Mesophytes different and hydrophyte are quite different. In case of geophytic, there is a, we have to say that well developed root system is there. In case of hydrophyte, there is a poor developed root system is there, isn't it? So here the amount of water present in the soil changes Morphology and anatomy of the plant according to the plants are mesophyte, hydrophytes and xerophytes. Anatomical also we will be able to see that. Now water is a solvent. It also acts as a reactant in a various chemical reactions in the plant. Keep in mind, in plant many or various chemical reactions are going to take place, and each and every, we have to say that, chemical reaction requires a water, and there the role of water is as a reactant. It acts as a reactant. So water is a good, we have to say that, solvent. Water helps in the formation of protoplasm. Protoplasm is the most important part of the each and every living cell, isn't it? So water helps in formation of protoplasm. When protoplasm is to be formed, definitely we'll have to see that it requires a water. Without water, formation of a protoplasm is not possible. The absorption and translocation of a mineral salts and dissolved substances takes place. Now we know that many minerals are present in the soil, but that cannot be absorbed by the plant through the root system unless and until that get dissolved into a solvent, that is water. So along with water, the minerals and the required elements are absorbed by the plant. So absorption and translocation of mineral salts or dissolved substances takes place through the water. So water having a lot of importance in the life. That's why it is known as the elixir of life, isn't it? Elixir of a life. Water is also known as a life, isn't it? Jivan. During photosynthesis, we know that water is oxidized and oxygen is produced. That is well known to us. We know this experiment. Hill is the name of scientist who has proved that the depletion of a water molecule takes place during the process of a photosynthesis, and water from that one oxygen is released into the atmosphere, isn't it? So we know that actually plant releases the oxygen, but that oxygen, where from it comes? Because of splitting of a water molecules, isn't it? So water is important. So suppose there is no water available to the plant or photosynthesis process, how it is possible that process will takes place? No process will be takes place. No release of O2, no release of oxygen. So oxygen, we have to say that, is released by the splitting of a water molecule during the process of a photosynthesis. Water affects the transpiration, germination, respiration of the plant, dispersal of a fruit, seed, activation of enzymes, hydrolysis of a ATP, growth, and all other metabolic processes. Students, you have to keep in mind many more physiological processes are carried out by plants in their life or day-to-day life. But each and every process, you starts from the germination, starts from the after germination growth is there. For that one they require the respiration, isn't it? Transpiration, all activation of the enzymes, hydrolysis of ATP, everywhere there is a necessity of a water is there. So lot of importance is there of a water in the life of each and every living organism or plants itself. Water maintains the temperature, as we know that transpiration process might be knowing to you, or we have to learn in the detail also. So during the transpiration process, or definition of the transpiration process, for your kind information, you have to write in your notebook. There is a loss of water in the form of a water vapors through the aerial parts of plant body is known as a transpiration. Because of transpiration, the body temperature of the plant is maintained. So for the transpiration process, water is required. If water is used in the transpiration process, temperature of the plant body can maintain, isn't it? And in the plant tissue, water maintained that exists of a plant body, isn't it? In the plant tissue also there is a water. So these many, we have to say that uses of waters are there, and because of that one, water is going to having a lot of importance in the life of plant, that we have learned in the topic, sorry, unit third, isn't it? That is absorption of water. Before that, we have to learn importance of a water, and that importance of water in the life of each and every, we have seen right now many more physiological processes are going to take place, many more enzymes are going to get acts as a biocatalyst, isn't it? Each and for each and everything, for activation of an enzyme also water is required. For hydrolysis of ATP, whenever hydrolysis of ATP will takes place, the energy will be released. So for the release of O2, water is required. So many more, we have to say that such a type of processes are there. There the water is required, my friends. And that's why this unit third, absorption of water, is having a lot of importance in the your syllabus given, and you have to learn this. So with this, and as already I have said to you, one of the experiment, one of the do the experiment, take the experience of that one, share that experience with your friends, scientific information with the childrens, we have to say that are school going students. So you will come to know that very interesting things are there. With this, I know that you will do the experiments, you will conduct this experiment, you will see how the imbibition takes place, how the swelling of a seeds takes place when that are deeply into the water or keep into the water, and you will share that information this with each and everybody. With this, I would like to say to you, my friends, do the experiment, try to understand the concept of each and everything, and that will help you to make the foundation of your knowledge perfect. And for that perfectancy, you will have to do these things. Okay.